Okay, we are good to go on this end for the meeting whenever y'all are ready.
I suspect she's still having some issues since we haven't heard from her yet. But it's probably on her end.
Okay, does anyone have the
There
lands
we go.
acknowledgement? Does anyone have the lands acknowledgement? I can't seem to find it. I apologize that I didn't ask for it ahead of time.
I think it's on the back of the
It
agenda.
is in the packet, Laura, if you have your packet nearby.
I do, but oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. So let's call to order this special meeting of the Central Oregon Community College Board of Directors for Wednesday, March 5th. And we will start with the lands acknowledgement. COCC would like to acknowledge that the beautiful land our campuses reside on are the original homelands of the Wasco and the Warm Springs people. They ceded this land to the U.S. government in the Treaty of 1855. The Paiute people were forcibly moved to the Warm Springs Indian Reservation starting in 1879. It's also important to note that the Klamath Trail ran north through this region to the Great Celilo Falls trading grounds. Descendants of these original people are thriving members of our communities today. We acknowledge and thank the original stewards of this land. May we please have a roll call?
Yes, we may. Laura Kraska-Cooper,
Here.
Erica Scatvold.
Here.
And I'm actually just going to run down the Zoom list as it'll be a little easier. Zach Boone,
Here.
Lori Chesley,
Here.
Alan Unger,
Here.
Aaron Foote Morgan,
Here.
Aaron Mers,
Here.
Joe Krinowitz.
Yes.
We have Paul Taylor.
Here.
And I believe, did I miss anybody? I believe that's it. Like Anne Marie is also on.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're good.
Okay, terrific. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Are there any agenda changes? Noting none, are there any public comments?
No, I checked right before the meeting and there are no public comments.
Okay, so that brings us to new business, and the issue at hand is the contract for our new, hopefully, if the contract is approved, for our new president, who was selected by the board as our top choice after the very comprehensive search that we engaged in, and that would be Dr. Greg Pereira. And you guys may remember that on February 12th, the board approved the hiring of Greg Pereira, subject to a satisfactory negotiation of a contract with him. And that was left to me in consultation with with Erica, and in working with our legal counsel. Subsequently, Paul prepared a form of the contract. He basically took the contract that we had for Lori, updated it, and then put in the terms and, you know, the specific name for Dr. Pereira, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm very pleased to say that in general, Dr. Pereira was very happy with the same contract that Lori has. The direct compensation of $249 would stay the same. Same terms and everything. Paul did update a couple of provisions for like changes and modernization of language. The only issue that Dr. Pereira had identified in language were things that his lawyer had identified, but I don't believe his lawyer was an Oregon lawyer, and Paul explained those to him. So that was pretty easy. The two changes that he asked to the contract was he asked that the monthly allowance for his vehicle be $1,000 instead of $700 a month. Erica and I thought that was reasonable, given that he intends to do quite a bit of traveling around the district. And that 700 is the same amount that Shirley had in her contract. And I believe that was the same amount that was in Jim Middleton's contract at the end of his term. So it's been a little while since we've adjusted it. And the other thing that Dr. Pereira asked for was that we had proposed a $10,000 moving allowance, and he asked that it be $15,000. And after doing a little bit of just sort of quick research, I see that his moving expenses will probably easily be $15,000. Point of fact, I understand we gave Lori 10, and she ended up having to pay more than that to move herself, and that was one-person household instead of a four-person household. So that did not seem unreasonable to Erica or me otherwise. The other thing that we did, and we really owe a debt of gratitude to Erica, is that you guys may recall that Appendix A to the president's contract basically is a position description, and it describes what we expect of the president. And then in the contract, it says that we will evaluate the president based on a form that'll be agreed upon between the president and the board, but that it will look at compliance with or satisfactory progress on the strategic plan, satisfactory progress on board goals, and then that it also will be consistent with Appendix A. And Appendix A was not in any way consistent with our policies or with the board description, the president description that the board put together when we first started the search. So Erica took that and basically consolidated everything into an Appendix A, which I think now is pretty concise, and it includes all of the key points from the president's profile that we drafted when we began the search. So I think that what we'll now have to do is the policy review committee will have to take up updating our policies to try to make them consistent with what we decided we were looking for back in June and July when we adopted the updated presidential profile. So I think that's really the 20,000 foot review. Erica, anything that you'd like to add?
The only other piece is I also looked at our evaluation form. And so knowing that we've had conversations in the past about updating it, I wanted to have things be consistent enough that we had room to improve on it, but not, narrow focus in too much or get us in a place where we were stuck. So I think we're in a good place. And so I know that we've had conversation around that, looking forward to updating that here coming up in collaboration with Greg as he comes into this role, because that's how we always do it with our presidents. But I think that's the only thing I have to add, Laura. So thank you.
Are there any questions or concerns or comments?
Well, this is Joe. The adjustments you presented to us, Laura, I agree with the $1,000 a month, $15,000 in moving expenses, and also the adjustments and changes that Erica has done on the appendix relative to what we expect out of Dr. How do you pronounce his last name?
It's Pereira,
Pereira. Okay,
but he likes to be called Greg, so it's up to your discretion.
That's true.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Erica. One other thing I should note is that this contract starts July 1. So Dr. Gregg's contract would not increase. If this were Lori's contract to continue, it would increase on July 1. But he's going to start with what her compensation was for 24-25. That will be his compensation for 25-26. And he was very happy with that. He said, I think that's very fair. He said, I'm gonna have to prove myself, and I understand why you wouldn't want to in these times pay a lot more to the incoming president, and let's see how this goes. But he said he's really excited, I can tell you that, and he and his family are going to be in town shortly looking for a house, assuming that we can reach agreement on a contract. So any other comments or questions? Okay, noting none, we do have a resolution in the packet. Would someone be willing to make a resolution?
I'm happy to do it. Should I not? Because I was on the committee and the.
Yeah, or tell Joe to.
Well,
Alan, you're there. Can you do it?
yeah, can you?
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Joe, are you willing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my packet. It's supposed to be here in the email, but I can't see it.
There
I'll
we
do
go.
it.
I'm happy to
Okay,
make
there
the
we go.
motion.
There we go.
Yes,
Oh,
I think
I'll
Aaron
do it.
Mers, did Aaron Mers just jump on? Do you have it?
yes, I'm happy to do it. Be it resolved that the Central Oregon Community College Board of Directors approves the presidential contract between COCC and Dr. Greg Pereira as drafted by the college's legal counsel, and that the board chair is authorized to execute such contract on behalf of COCC.
Excellent.
Second.
Excellent. It's been moved by Aaron Mers and seconded by Alan. Is there any further discussion? I'll add one thing that I forgot to mention, but we've talked about it before. This contract, which is Lori's contract right now, essentially puts our compensation for our president at about fourth or fifth in the state among college presidents, and that is just salary. And then if you include salary and deferred compensation, it's again fourth or fifth. We hover around there, and that strikes me as very reasonable and very responsible for what is probably the best community college in the state of Oregon. Anyway, I wanted to let everyone know about that. Any additional comments or questions? If not, may I ask, Lucas, that we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. With a roll call vote, just so I'm clear, since I've not done this. Oh, just go through the list is what you're saying?
Just read, I'm last, but read each board member's name and they will vote individually.
Okay, perfect. Joe Krenowitz,
yes.
Alan Unger,
Yes.
Aaron Foote Morgan,
Yes.
Erica Scatfold,
Yes.
Aaron Mers,
Yes.
Paul Taylor.
Oh, he doesn't get to vote.
Oh, Paul doesn't get to vote. Okay. Well, I think we hit everyone since Jim is not here. And then Laura Kraska Cooper.
Yes. All right. Motion carries unanimously. I did know that, just so that everybody knows, I know that Jim Porter, I knew he was unable to make it today. He was okay with us proceeding, and he said he was in support. I was able to talk to him about this because that was not a quorum, obviously. But he's very happy with this and wanted us to proceed so that we could share the good news with everybody, have a signed contract, and everyone look to the future. So thank you very much, everyone, for taking the time today. I apologize that I had the technology problems, but I appreciate everyone being here. And thank you to Paul for helping us get the contract done. He worked over the weekend to help us get last minute little fixes, typos and stuff corrected. And thank you to Lucas and to Kyle for helping coordinate. And thank you to Zach for getting us to this point. Fabulous job and so much work. And you're going to have to find a way to fill your time now. So thank you to everyone. And yeah, this is exciting. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you at our board meeting next week.